Hello and welcome to our latest video, our latest service update from Waugh to Life. As ever, my name is Stuart Wilson, Corporate Marketing Director at Waugh to Life, and I'm joined by Ben Waugh, our Director of Operations and Change. Good morning, Ben. Welcome to you. I wanted to start, Ben, with a service update. We're recording this on the 18th of October. Last week, we issued a note out to advisors regarding servicing matters, and we touched on a number of potential issues around that and what we are doing as a lender. One in particular was around a potential slight slippage in our SLAs around application to offer times, and that's down in large part to a huge volume of business that we're currently dealing with right now. Just looking at the current figures that I'm seeing today, our application to offer lag times still look pretty good in October, around about the sort of 10-day mark on average, although obviously some cases go through considerably faster than that. Can you just give us some sense of where we are right now in terms of that top of the funnel application to offer pipeline?
Sure. Morning, everyone. So at the moment, despite already very, very high volumes in the last couple of weeks, the underwriters are doing a fantastic job of keeping pace with that demand. So most files are being reviewed within 48 hours. So clearly some of those cases will need to go for, different sets of approvals internally, or they might need to, go back to eServe, our valuer, just for an item of clarification. But generally, I think things are holding up very, very well, Stuart. Thank you. I mean, if I touch more widely on, the end-to-end journey and so on, then I would say eServe is still knocking it out of the park. Most files are being done within 3 to 4 days, including customer delays. That number might be 5 or 6 days. That remains as strong as we've ever seen it, which is encouraging, and obviously that's helping the app to offer timeline for us. But they are doing a great job. I think, again, probably just worth touching on from the post-offer perspective through to completions, that still remains pretty challenging. We still have a lot of purchase cases in the pipeline. We know that that's a big focus for particularly non-panel solicitors. And there seems no slowdown in the number of customers that are looking to purchase a new property. And those cases have a very, very long lag times of maybe 90 days on average is what we're seeing. Coming out of the purchase case scenario, then again, clear differential as well between those cases that use a panel solicitor and those cases that use a non-panel solicitor. Non-panel solicitors remain probably 50% slower than the panel solicitors in a lot of cases. But generally, that's where I think all the challenges are. Other factors, of course, being land registry. So about 20-25% of all cases will need some form of land registry activity. And again, they remain in a very poor state from an operational perspective, with maybe, very routine minor activity with land registry that used to take 2 or 3 days, still taking 6, 7, 8 weeks. And it's highly variable whether or not cases get accepted for the fast track process with land registry. So a lot of issues there, but we'll probably save that for another podcast when we talk about all the good things that we're doing, Stuart, to focus on that side of things. But generally, pre-offer is good, but post-offer is challenging, is where I'd sum it up.
Okay, thanks, Ben. So a number of things post-offer that can potentially delay or speed up an application process, and as you say, we'll touch on those perhaps in a different broadcast. But just going back to the communication we issued last week, we did reference the fact that over the next 2 or 3 weeks or so, we may experience a slight degradation in our normal SLA, and as a result, we've amended our service promise accordingly from 14 days to 18 days. Just thinking about that more broadly in the wider context of the later life lending market, is this something that's just affecting Waugh to Life, or is this something that is actually a more of a wider issue across the market?
I think it's a wider issue, if I'm honest with you. I think, look, I mean, good news for all of us here is that there does seem to be real signs that the market is heating up, and there are new customers coming into the marketplace that are starting to do lifestyle equity release, which is something that's really dropped down in the last 18 months, as we've seen probably 60% of our pipeline is to do with debt repayment, and that number's probably up from about 25% to 3 years ago. So customers have definitely been more about keeping families and themselves afloat. Whereas now I would say that we're definitely seeing a much bigger increase in demand from customers that want to do extensions, renovate the garden, buy a new car, go on holiday, even buy camper vans. All of those sorts of more lifestyle type changes are definitely coming back into the market, I think, from what we can see. And that's driving up demand. That's coupled with interest rates coming up across the marketplace. We've been very lucky in taking some deliberate activity and being supported by our More to Life funders, who have been very happy to keep interest rates low for as long as they possibly can do, and then hold to very generous timelines from KFI to app submission, where you have got a KFI securing an early rate. You've got some period of time before you can actually submit the application in order to give the customers the best possible outcome. And I think as a result of that, what we are definitely seeing is a significant rise in volume. We are responding to that operationally. We have some new underwriters that joined us in the last 2 or 3 months that are now fully productive and mandated, which is great news. But equally, I can see definitely if these volumes continue over the next few weeks, then I think, our review time, which, as I said, was currently 24, 48 hours, I think that will move out to maybe 4 or 5 days at its peak. It's a conscious decision we've made to take that volume because we believe it's a great opportunity for customers and brokers to get fantastic rates for their customers. But ultimately, there will be a little bit of a surface impact, I think, in the next few weeks as we start to see just simply so many valuations come in that we just simply can't keep pace on a day-to-day basis. Having said that, I do expect that to be relatively short-lived. And I think we will come back into service pretty quickly and restore our place in obviously the number one position from an app to offer perspective on average. So, that's where I think we'll go. But yeah, definitely flagging and wanted to be proactive with brokers that says, we might get pretty busy. So if you can give us a few extra days, if you're not seeing an offer, 24, 48 hours after the barrel comes in, as you would perhaps normally do so, just give us another couple of days just to get those cases through the door. And we will go to offer, you rest assured on my commitment to that as quickly as we possibly can do.
Great stuff. So clearly a market that's heating up, prices on the rise, as we've seen across all lenders in the last few weeks, which is driving demand across the marketplace, not just through More to Life. I just want to touch then finally on the matter of once a case is in force and clients are looking maybe to come back for further lending, further advances and drawdowns. Now, we've seen a huge increase in the volume of those cases this year, haven't we? And we know also something we referenced in the communication last week, that right now we are outside of our normal SLAs for further advances and drawdowns. And I know that your team is working hard to get us back inside those SLAs as quickly as possible. Can you just give us a little bit of commentary around that in terms of where we are right now? And we'll come back to this, I know, in future broadcasts, but where are we right now?
Yeah, so that is probably the major hotspot in the operation right now. We're seeing very, very big increases in the number of customers coming back for drawdowns. I think that's related to the wider pickup in demand for lifestyle, for example. And a lot of customers with drawdown facilities are coming back to us to realise those. And that demand's probably been with us now for certainly probably since June, I would say. And that, to give you an idea of the scale of that, we're looking at easily double our previous volumes. And from a further advanced perspective, we're also seeing two things happen here. One is a huge amount of traffic from advisors clearly doing reviews to customers. Obviously, that's great. So this is important that we obviously look after our customers for the longer term as a wider team, if you like. But that is driving a lot of inquiries around, is my customer able to have a further advance? Very few of those actually go through to completion, but there is a lot of work that we need to do to provide KFIs and insight on dates, data, rates, early repayment charges if there's an existing debt that might also be repaid as part of those review that's provided a huge amount of inbound traffic to us. So yeah, has been problematic to solve. We have brought a lot of new people into that team over the summer. Unfortunately, many of those were temporary resources that because of the wider heat up of the labour market, have not been as provided us with the longevity that we'd expected them to be. So we've had to recruit another wave of people in September. They are now trained and productive, and obviously we're ensuring that we do everything we can to keep them in the business for as long as we can, to deal with this volume bubble. And I would expect us still to be in service in the back end of this month. We're also doing a lot of work from a technology perspective to try and move our further advance and drawdown process online. Further advances will probably come first. I would thank some of our colleagues from a couple of well-known brokers, is all I'll say, who have been helping us with a pilot of that. We do need to make some changes to the system on some of the documentation that's being produced. That is one of the top things that we've asked our system supplier to work on. But yes, it remains very busy. But we are making progress. Our SLAs and are coming back more into normal times, but we're probably another 2 weeks or so before that will be fully back to normal. But rest assured, it is a top priority. And again, if you've got any cases that are very important that are being delayed, then please use the front office team, and they will escalate cases and get them through and get them prioritized from the queue, if you like. So again, there is an escalation process in place with front office. So if you work with Paul Glynn and his team, you can get those cases through. But as I say, more generally, just bear with us another couple of weeks. I think we'll be in a much better space and back in service given the work that's being done.
Great stuff, Ben. Well, I know we'll come back to this point in future broadcasts, just to pick up on how we're doing that with that, getting back into SLA, because I know that's something that advisors are really keen to hear more about and understand where we are, which is one of the reasons why we're doing this update today. But thank you for that update, Ben, and thank you for watching. As Ben mentioned, if you do have any issues, if you've got cases that do need escalation, might be urgent for a number of reasons. Perhaps it's related to a purchase, perhaps it's related to a vulnerable client. Do get in contact with the front office team, the advisor support team, and we can help you push those cases through. But thanks for watching. We will hope you join us on the next broadcast. And in the meantime, have a great day, and we'll see you very soon. Thanks very much, Ben.
No worries. Thanks, Stuart. Thanks, everyone, and stay safe.